Today is a bit of a wildcard question. I'm going to be talking to you about oxygen, which is the most important nutrient your brain and body needs. I get asked all the time, Will, what is the perfect food to eat? And whenever people talk to me, I'm usually trying to chunk up to what their outcome is. And when two people are arguing, a lot of the time our intention isn't to injure our spouse or hurt our friends. It's really to be understood or heard or get something off our chest. And a lot of the time we act with a positive intention, even when it's destructive to another. So when people ask me all the time, Will, what's the one superfood I could eat? Or what's the one super herb? I really think, what's the positive intention behind that question? They're really saying, how can I have more energy? How can I have more lose weight? How can I care for myself and my children? What's the one thing? Now, obviously, while I endorse a lifestyle, and you need to transition and step out of the majority of the population, that won't be evolved enough to ever shift. The most important thing you need to start with is oxygen, then water, then chlorophyll. We'll talk about chlorophyll another time. That's really the most important food-based nutrient. But if you're going to do anything, you need a program that starts with oxygen. And the most important thing you need to learn to do is breathe. We're going to talk about this in another time. But when you do aerobic exercise, this is very important. It's very important that you learn to breathe. In fact, there's different breathing methods that can shave hours off your sleeping time just from understanding that. And we'll go into that in other CD sets, and we'll probably devote a whole hour CD to talking about how to breathe when you're laying in bed. People have what's called tantric sex, where they deepen the connection, because when you synchronize your breathing with someone you're making love to, the connection feels very deep. And the other thing is, as you know, tissue dies without a few minutes of oxygen. That's what circulation is. That's why if you cut a nerve to somewhere, you lose blood supply. Like I was talking recently about Botox, where it impairs the nerve, paralyzes the nerve. Well, you impair circulation, that part of the body dies. It's a horrific thing to do to yourself. And we need to step away from this short-term gain for long-term demise type mentality that most of us live with, myself included at times. We all look for the quick fix. But what we need is oxygen. Now, number one, if you're smoking, I cannot think of anything more stupid. You probably don't realize, because you've been socialized, that it's sexy and that it's powerful and that you're tough and whatever else marketers have led us to believe, but it's 3,000 chemicals, hundreds of which we know cause cancer. It's really destructive to your family and children. I'm not here to preach you a sermon, but for your own sake, you're depriving yourself of the one element you need. Now, the reason smoking has relaxed you up until now is because you're shifting your breathing. You're taking slow, deep breaths. Now, you need to know, if there's one thing that shifts a species, and I mean any animal on Earth, it's biochemistry. In other words, how it feels more than anything on Earth, it is breathing. It is the way you breathe. You need to learn to breathe properly. Most people, when they get anxiety, they're holding their breath. You know that if you've had anxiety, you think back to being in your body. When you feel anxiety, you sit there and you hold your breath. That's what uncertainty is. It's an evolutionary survival tool. And all that means is we were designed in mind for the fact that we need to survive and protect ourselves. So as soon as something stressful happens, we hold our breath, tense our diaphragm, tense our stomach muscles, getting ready for a potential blow to any part of our body. Circulation impairs, digestion shuts down. So if there's one skill you need to learn in your life, it's to learn to relax. And the best place to do it is in bed at night. And breathing is the most powerful tool you have at your disposal. In fact, if you're going to eat anything, you want to lose weight or you want to be healthy, you could have nothing but water, oxygen, and chlorophyll, and you'd be going a long way. Now, I wouldn't recommend just doing that, because fasting, unfortunately, can throw your body into a huge healing crisis. There's better ways to detoxify and have more energy. And many people through history fasted. Pythagoras got all his students to fast. Jesus did for 40 days. Socrates, we could name dozens of people who have done this. What that does is allows your body to clear. You need oxygen at the cellular level. Breathing is one of the few things that you have conscious and unconscious control is, and there's different spiritual beliefs. And I once had someone draw reference to me that apparently in the Quran it says that we are created with a limited number of breaths. It's fixed. So certainly a respectfulness to want to breathe a little bit deeper and slow down a little bit and appreciate that what we've got under our nose is oxygen, and that's the most important mineral that we need to take in. Now, oxygen levels are dropping around the world. Carbon dioxide is going up. Some people are very skeptical of global warming. If you are, don't be. There's lots of literature out there that basically proves conclusively all around the world that this is a problem. Carbon dioxide is filling out our atmosphere. Now, luckily, trees and plants breathe carbon dioxide and spit out oxygen. They do the reverse of what human beings do. It's an amazing synchronicity that we live in terms of plants. We'll go in elsewhere the amazing power of plants. In fact, Native Americans used to say that the earth was conscious in terms of respecting where we grow from. And obviously, having seen herbs save so many people's lives who wouldn't be around, you'd be amazed at the healing compounds and the aliveness there is to it. That as soon as we pick something out of the earth, out of the soil, it begins to die. And we don't get things fresh in the supermarket anymore. When we talk about the 2 or 3 different types of breathing, I want you to know that you need to breathe into your diaphragm, and you need to push your belly out when you talk. And in fact, I want you to do it with me now. So I want you to breathe in, put your hand on your stomach, and push it out as deep as you can. I want you to do it with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want you to hold it there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I want you to breathe out through the mouth. And just exhale as deep and hard as you can. This is the best way I've learned to breathe is called lymphatic breathing. It's in a ratio of 1 count in through the nose, hold for 4 counts, and out through to 2 counts. When you hold on to oxygen, you make yourself stronger. And let me tell you, when you do this, this will be the greatest secret that you learn from anyone in your life. Your energy will explode beyond belief when you begin to do this. You'll be surprised that nobody on earth taught you sooner. And breathing in, holding it. Now, many cultures such as India believe that the exhale is the drive behind the breath, that we're actually driven to exhale, and that's what we should be doing first. Now, something that's very interesting is if I sit you in a room now and I drop the oxygen levels and I raise the nitrogen levels, you'll actually pass out before your brain senses that you're missing oxygen. And that's because breathing is actually driven by the urge to expel from the body. It's an elimination. It's actually driven to expel carbon dioxide. One of the biggest acids or waste products in the body is called carbonic acid. Carbonic means it's from carbon, and it breaks down to carbon dioxide and water. Carbon dioxide is what's in soda water. It's what makes drinks bubbly. Carbon dioxide, again, I enjoy soda water sometimes myself, but carbon dioxide, certainly not healthy. There's no reason to take it into our body apart from the taste factor. Fortunately, I know you're out there saying, oh, Will, everything that's good for me tastes bad. What am I going to do? Well, I'm here to tell you your taste buds shift. Your taste buds shift. The healthier you get, you've probably been lived on dairy products since birth. You wouldn't even know what 2 or 3 weeks of health looks like. And if we can break you out of the hypnosis of society a little bit and get you in a little bit of the minority being healthy, you'll be amazed at the edge you begin to feel in terms of mental clarity, knowledge. You will probably find yourself reading faster. You will find all these things. Your sex drive will definitely explode because you'll be getting all this good circulation, oxygen moving to your genitals. They'll probably even get more sensitive. Your orgasms will get more intensive, and they may even last longer. So how's that for an incentive? Now, if you are going to learn one skill, I encourage you to pick up the CD program where we talk about breathing, or I encourage you to just buy the CD separately on breathing and master this, and at least every day. The good thing about breathing is you can do it with no extra time. You can do it in net time, which just means you can be watching TV and walking and breathing. There is really no excuse. When people tell me they don't have time, I'm respectful. You've got 4 children, you work a full-time job, everyone's time poor, and certainly is very, very hard when you've got a family. But the way that you do that is you bundle things with time. So if you're walking, you breathe. If you're walking, you breathe, and you're doing something mentally to change the way you feel. If you're watching television, well, you look like a bit of a doofus if you stand up and start doing cartwheels, but you can lay on the floor. You can do exercises. You can make it fun. You can turn it into a game if it's children. Children love games. I used to teach children how to think more positive, and I used to show them how to, when you feel better about something, you take the mental pictures closer and make them bigger, and when you feel worse about something, you push them further away, and how to imagine a volume dial and turn down that awful internal dialogue that sits there and nags you all day in your head. And so I really do encourage you to take this, run with it. Breathing will probably be the most important thing I ever teach you. If you find yourself tired or hooked or liking anything I say at all, I need you to know you need to go out there and you need to just breathe, and expand your lung capacity to the point where your lungs and your voice is going to transform when you do this as well. And if you're male, you may get a booming Sean Connery voice, and if you're a woman, you may get a very fetching, attractive voice. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I appreciate you listening, and more importantly, I hope you go out there and apply this.